This is kind of a big question. Obviously, our country has a philosophy that encourages home ownership, this idea of wealth creation, and I think at one point in history that might have been the case, that it was a great savings model, if you will. What I find interesting is this. It's historically and particularly coming out of like World War II, and veterans would come home, got a VA loan, got a job, had the same job for 40 years. They retired, never moved, stayed in the same house, paid the loan off. And so they retire and they have this kind of forced savings plan. And and that just doesn't happen today, right? So nobody stays in the same place for 40 years anymore. They're not staying in the same house. People want to be able to take advantage of opportunities for career growth by moving to different markets and being able to climb that ladder, if you will. So this idea that this is a wealth creator, I think, is a bit misdirected. The other thing is, if you look at the amount of home price appreciation over the last 50 years, it always reverts to kind of the inflation rate. So the idea that you're getting some sort of outsized returns by owning a home is a mistake. The other thing is, the cost of home ownership relative to renting is almost double the cost of renting today. So from an affordability standpoint, it's not really comparable. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be disciplined enough to take that other amount and actually invest it and be able to build their returns. But it is interesting that from an investment perspective, home ownership doesn't really stack up today, and so that's been a difference. So I think people are starting to recognize that. I think that is changing. If you think about young people considering buying a house, it's not that far long ago that they saw what happened in the great financial crisis. They've seen challenges of the volatility of underlying home markets. The average home mortgage today is that's in place is just under 4%. New mortgages are almost 7% today. They're looking at do I buy? It's just not that attractive today. So what we're seeing people that are staying as renters for longer, but as they get older, as they want more space, the apartments don't work anymore, but they still want the same services and support. They want the easy lifestyle of having all of the maintenance, et cetera, that is afforded in a BTR community that is not available in a kind of a single owner operator of a random house in a community, and they need more space than just being in an apartment. So it's interesting to see how those shifts are taking place for sure.